been following me for any length of time, you've seen me weigh in on the anime fan community's spiciest translation controversies. From Kaoru's love to Shinji, to the house and fragile male ego, to Comrade Retsuko, to whatever this was. And if you're on anime Twitter, or AniTwitter, you've probably seen the weekly cycle of hot takes from armchair experts on how anime translators are terrible people who are destroying anime and Western civilization all in one fell swoop.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Funimation, stop inserting Western political crap into the dub. You are doing the same thing 4Kids is doing, and we are sick of this.
The official Crunchyroll subtitles used the word sus in Nagatoro yesterday, and now Funimation just used come at me bro and cringe for this show. What is happening?
Agreed. This is infuriatingly annoying. The translator needs to be fired or told to do their job properly.
Translations are a very simple concept. You take a word and translate it directly into another language's word. Sometimes there is no direct translation, so you engage in what's called localization. However, doing this in a sloppy way can ruin a character's show and feeling. By the way, here's 10 reasons why I hate trans people.
Now, I know that most anime fans are not antagonistic towards translators. And believe it or not, I've actually met a lot of wonderful people on Twitter. But as a professional translator, it is rather demoralizing to see a different translator's work get dragged through the mud every week on the Cursed Bird app. We translators feel each other's pain and frustration when anime fans who don't understand Japanese or how the translation process works give us ignorant, disrespectful, and downright hateful feedback. So we were pleasantly surprised last week when a translator actually got praised for a localization choice. And I don't want this to become a drama channel where I hate on toxic anime fans all the time. So I thought I'd share this lovely translation with all of you good anime fans out there who make our jobs worthwhile.
Props to Zombieland Saga translator. I'm glad to see praise for a translation going viral for once.
This was indeed a brilliant localization, and I'm so glad that it was well received by anime fans. But why is it so brilliant, you ask? Let's break it down. The word the lunchmaker intended to write in nori was gambare. This is the commanding form of the verb gambaru, which means many things, but the verb persevere encapsulates its meaning best if you want to go for a very literal translation. Kaba means hippopotamus, but if you read it right to left, it's baka, which most anime fans know means idiot. Now, some anime fans believe that translations should be as literal as possible. But if this moment had been translated literally, the first screen would have read hippo, and the second screen would have read persevere, and the joke would have been lost. Some older anime fans miss the good old days of fan sub translations, where the subtitles often contained translation notes to explain the translations more thoroughly. If the translator had gone the legacy fan sub translator route, the first screen would have read kaba, baka. Translator note, kaba means hippo and baka means idiot. Japanese can be read either right to left or left to right, so it could be either word. And the second would read, gambare, translator's note. Gambare has no direct translation, but it's a word Japanese people say to encourage one another, so it's sort of like good luck, or you can do it. The letters ba and ka are part of gambare, because in Japanese, ka and ga are written with the same katakana character. You just add dakten, those little thingies that look like quotation marks, to turn a soft consonant like k into a hard consonant like g. So that's why this joke is funny. But we all know the first rule of comedy. If you have to explain a joke, it's not funny anymore. So instead, the translator found a really clever way to keep the wordplay intact by translating the punchline gambare as you'll succeed, which is actually a pretty decent localization of the phrase, since you usually would tell someone something like you'll succeed to encourage them if they're attempting to do something. Then, by removing the apostrophe, the two L's, and the seed part of succeed, it turns into the phrase you suck, which is an insult, just like baka. Or kaba for that matter. While baka was changed from you idiot to you suck, the original intention of this moment in the anime was still preserved. It mattered less that Ai Mizuno thought that she was being called an idiot only later to realize that she was being wished good luck, and it mattered more that Ai Mizuno thought she was being insulted only later to find out that she was being encouraged. In other words, the specific words that were being used to insult or to encourage Mizuno Ai were kind of secondary to the scene. The purpose of this scene was to be funny, cute, and to have Ai go from thinking she was being insulted to finding out that she was encouraged and having a cute little heartwarming moment. And it was great seeing all the anime fans on Twitter loving on this translation, even though it wasn't literal. After having to suffer through all the shit takes we usually get week in and week out, this was downright cathartic.
This is an amazing example of the difference between direct translation and localization. Direct translation would have been just the meaning of the original text, most likely losing the pun due to language differences. This is localization.
Anime translation is an absolute art, and people don't appreciate it enough. Part of the issue is people not being able to read the kanji hiragana to know what's going on behind the scenes, which is fair. Shit like this actually impresses me, not gonna lie. Translators really don't get enough credit for making works accessible to those who don't know the native language of that particular media. Why? Am I missing something? Because it would have been a lot funnier if the translation said, "Hippo, do your best."
Oh hey, this is the part of the video where I thank my patrons and shill for myself. If you want to learn Japanese with me, I have a whole new channel devoted to that called Sarah Moon Japanese. There's already around 100 videos in the library. My husband and I also have a new gaming channel called Nekomancer, cat-themed. You can also give me money on Patreon or Ko-fi if you're feeling generous and want some perks. And if you've got thick skin, come join me on the cesspool that is Twitter. I tweet about my thoughts on translation and do general anime and leftist shit posting and retweets over there if that's your kink. Okay, bye!